Are local card shops scamming you? See, I'd like to start by preferencing definitely not all card shops are ran in the wrong way, okay? I'd like to shout out my local LCS, AJ's Sports and Collectibles in Hartford, Wisconsin. They're ran great. I've gone to see them at shows or stuff that they just get in. I look up the cards on comps and tell them a fair price. They say good. They're cool with it, right? But I had an experience today that I wanted to talk about. So I went into a card shop. I've been in there maybe one other time. I haven't necessarily really bought a lot from there before, maybe some like dollar cards and stuff, right? But today we picked up a good stack. Okay, good little stack. And one of the things that I found to be a problem was their prices. And I totally understand like shops having to turn a profit. And there's different ways people do that at shops. It's buying at 50% comps, right? Some people do that. Or there's the markup, right? I understand like a little bit of a markup. But some of these cards that I saw today were dramatic. I'm talking like cards that I found that were priced at $75. The last 4 sales were $5, right? I sat there, I comped them all up, and I was like, hey, by the way, would you guys be willing to work with me if on these prices? I'm buying a lot, right? And they're like, yeah. So the thing with that is, if it's $20 or less on the slabs, that's all we got. And I'm like, okay, interesting, because some of the slabs I picked up were 20 or less, right? So, but they were pricing at 5, right? And so obviously that's a problem. And so I put a few things back, including the ones that I talked about that were, 100% markup price, right? 6 of them that I agreed were an alright price. Fair enough, right? So I come through and so I do all my comps, give him all the info, and he's like, well, I have to comp it now too. I was like, alright. And we agreed on the value on almost everything. I like to think that I comp things pretty well. I can come up with a real value for what things are worth. And then what really I thought was kind of weird is so we came up with what the actual price is, right? And after we found out the actual price, he had to go talk to his manager or the owner. Are we allowed to take these at this price? Are we allowed to sell things for what they're worth? That's crazy to me. Okay? But I also don't want to pay 100% comps either. I definitely don't want to pay 200% comps. And so we worked with it a little bit. I left there feeling like they got one over on me still. Will I be able to make money? Some. I think there's only one card that I personally feel like I won on. And I feel like the experience of going into a shop, you should always leave feeling happy, like you fully got what you went there for, right? So let's hop into some of these cards. Let's start with some of the stuff that I thought was decently fair price. Okay, Sterling Shepard, $30 out of 50. I think that's all right. Okay, Frank Thomas. Okay, IP auto, but it does have the PSA cert. That was $30. Okay. We have Raleigh Fingers. Okay, this is a nicer one for 20 bucks. Kind of exactly what it was worth, I felt like. This is the only card, as I brought up before, that I felt like I won on. Aaron Rodgers, number to 79, 35 bucks. Okay, from Wisconsin, so not a terrible price at all. Okay, Tom Brady, 2002, $20. I think this one was worth about 15, but $5 isn't going to kill anybody, right? Okay, now we're going to start to get to some of the tricky ones. Okay, this had 2 sales. It was like $8.15. They valued it at 20. So there's 2 sales. Both of them are lower than 20, but we're going to value it at 20. Thought that was kind of interesting. These prices that they put on them are their prices, not mine. Keep that in mind. So Ozzie Newsome, they valued this at 15 after valuing at 20. Most of the sales were right around $8. Okay. What we got here? Charlie Joyner, $20. $10. Most of the sales on this were $8, okay? This is Gorman Thomas, okay? $20, got them down to $15. They also had one numbered to 5 that they wanted $50 for. I don't think there's a single Gorman Thomas auto that sells for $50. Just saying. So that one I passed on because I felt like it was unfair. This one was interesting. Okay, obviously he has some allegations that he cleared up, but so they had this valued at 40. Okay, so before they were doing about 35, 40 to 50 on a good day, and now they're doing like 12 to 15, 25. Okay, the other thing is, like I said, they barely took any money off for me, right? And even after they took off the money, they added tax, which can't be mad at them for adding tax because, you know, it's a business and all. But I paid in cash. You gave me a not so great deal. And then you add tax. Like, I don't know. Randall Cobb, 35. Got him down to 25 on that. It's out of 15. I think that one's probably worth about 25. No idea who this is, if we're being honest. Super Bowl autos usually do decent. PSA 8. So there was like a raw sales for like, I don't know, where were they, like 15, 20 bucks. PSA 8 isn't going to get you any more than that. So $40, and we're talking, that's what, 2 times markup? This is the kind of problems that I'm talking about. So Kobe, this one also way too much. 35. If it's not the refractor of this and not numbered, this is like a $15 card. This one's crazy. Vinny Testaverde. Okay, it's a 9. I got it for 20. They had $45 on this. Raws of this, they're like $5 cards. That's ridiculous. Julio Jones, they were asking 35. The PSA 10 did 50. I don't think you should ever leave someone's shop feeling like they got one over on you. And I'm not going to say their name. Okay, but, and I've heard a lot of other bad things. Not just prices from buying to telling your card is the wrong thing to try to get it for cheaper. Just a lot of bad practice. And so, that's my thoughts is, do your research and make sure you're fully committed to a deal too, right? Like, don't be like, okay, like, if you don't feel it, don't do it. Like I said, I put about 5 or 6 of those back because I felt like they were terrible deals, okay? And should I have put more back? I'll let you guys decide. Probably. I think I'll be able to sell these ones. I'll have to keep you updated, of course, if I don't. But yeah. So let me know your guys' thoughts on if sports card shops are scamming you.